I think if Canelo was using the jab effectively, hard, the guy wouldn't have been able to come in because the guy was coming in because he wasn't worried about Canelo's jab. So he got more aggressive and he got brave. And if you're not jabbing, he has no defense.
I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. We don't know how your body's going to react.
He's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for Crawford will get. I'm picking Crawford to win now.
Mike Tyson has expressed deep concern over Canelo Alvarez's future, warning that a defeat against Terence Crawford could seriously tarnish his legacy. Tyson pointed out a persistent flaw in Canelo's recent performances, his reluctance to rely on the jab, which has frequently given opponents the chance to grow in confidence and close the distance. He stressed that Alvarez needs to refine and consistently apply his jab in this fight, using it with precision to dictate the tempo and stop Crawford from seizing control.
He's not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Well, he was really basic, you know.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? You know, but those intents.
Veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has added his perspective to the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford debate, noting that Alvarez possesses one of the most impressive resumes in the sport, having tested himself against elite opponents across multiple weight classes. By contrast, Crawford's career has not consistently featured the marquee names expected of a fighter of his talent. Still, Atlas stressed that true greatness is measured not only by the caliber of opposition, but by the skill, intelligence, and adaptability a fighter demonstrates in the ring. He argued that Crawford's exceptional timing, mastery of angles, and command of distance could neutralize Alvarez's physical advantages. In Atlas's view, it is Crawford's composure and ability to adjust seamlessly mid-fight that may ultimately prove decisive against such a seasoned and dangerous.
No, I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. We don't know how your body's going to react. And you just think, you know, you just going to come up and beat me. We seen it with Charlo, his videos, how he was looking, you know, moving around the ring. And everybody thought, you know, that might work. And we saw what happened come fight night. Crawford is a skillful guy. But, like, who has he really beaten? Spence. After Spence, you know, now all of a sudden he can jump up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo. I don't see it. If I'm Canelo, I would have to make a statement with Crawford. Canelo cannot lose this fight. He shouldn't lose this fight.
Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make one.
Canelo Alvarez, the stakes in this showdown extend well beyond the final result. With Terence Crawford moving up to weight classes, the burden rests squarely on Canelo to prove himself as the naturally bigger, stronger, and more seasoned fighter. A loss in this scenario would invite sharp criticism, fueling questions about his ability to assert dominance over a smaller opponent. Such an outcome could dim his stature and threaten his reputation as one of this era's pound-for-pound greats. That's why the risk for Canelo looms large, even before the first punch is thrown.
It's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I give him, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win.
Benavidez has spoken with confidence about Terence Crawford's place among boxing's elite, portraying him as a fighter who operates on a higher plane of technical skill and mental sharpness than most of his peers. He highlighted Crawford's ability to switch stances effortlessly, maintain composure under pressure, and dictate the pace, no matter the opponent's style. For Benavidez, it is this rare combination of calmness and precision that makes Crawford such a formidable puzzle. He emphasized that Crawford's true advantage lies not just in his physical gifts, but in his extraordinary ring IQ, the ability to break down and systematically dismantle even the most
I'll give you a list of attributes, and then tell me who do you feel is best in that attribute. First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring.
Jeff Mayweather has emphasized the elite technical brilliance that has defined Terence Crawford's career, applauding his ability to read opponents and adjust with surgical precision. While he gives Crawford the edge in pure boxing skill, Mayweather cautioned against discounting Canelo Alvarez's power and wealth of experience. He pointed out that Canelo has time and again shifted the momentum of a fight with a single perfectly timed punch, proving his resilience in high-stakes battles against some of boxing's biggest names. Mayweather stressed that overlooking adaptability and knack for capitalizing on openings would be a costly mistake, not just for Crawford, but for any fighter who steps into the ring with
Canelo. He has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know. And I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Kellerman has identified the jab as a potential game changer in the Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford showdown. He praised Crawford's jab as one of the most efficient and accurate weapons in modern boxing, an essential tool for controlling distance, setting up clean combinations, and breaking an opponent's rhythm. Kellerman noted that this discipline, command of the lead hand, has been central to Crawford's dominance. By contrast, he pointed out that while Canelo once relied heavily on his jab to neutralize pressure fighters, its use in recent years has grown inconsistent and less impactful. That decline, Kellerman warned, could leave Alvarez susceptible to Crawford's sharp, systematic application.
I love Crawford. He knows that. I've seen him. I've talked to him many times, and I wish him the best. I'm actually very happy for him and Bomac for everything they've done and the big fight that they're getting. You know, in this sport, making it to those fights and making it to those paydays, you got to be happy for anybody that makes it there. So Bomac knows, Crawford knows. Now I'm actually, after Canelo's performance, I'm actually leaning towards Crawford to win this fight.
Why is that? What changed?
Because I know Crawford's, he's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for Crawford will get, I'm picking Crawford to win now.
On to win. Russell has underscored the cultural and stylistic contrasts that make the Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford clash so compelling. He framed Canelo as the embodiment of the traditional Mexican-style measured pressure, relentless bodywork, and sharp counterpunching. In contrast, Russell described Crawford as a representation of the African-American boxing tradition, defined by rhythm, fluid movement, and defensive savvy. He believes this stylistic collision sets the stage for a fascinating battle, with each fighter aiming to impose his rhythm while dismantling the other's strengths.
And like me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set. And it, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win.
So you don't think Crawford, gaining that weight, because I saw him, he's pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. The nutrition, the like I said, the training. Crawford, he trains hard. So I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
And I know you, like we discussed earlier, we talked with your pro debut, and now you're 3-0. Your last fight, July 19th against Blanco, and it was actually your third win by knockout.
Yes.
I'm super proud of you. How are you feeling about your pro career so far?
I'm feeling great about my pro career. I definitely feel like it's off to a great start.